Tune in, tune in, tune in. We now live. The Dat Boy Lucky show. Dat Boy Lucky NYC. We got a special guest today. We need everybody to tune in, tune in, tune in. This is the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me. I had a long day. It's already 3:30. You heard. Got one. Oh, there we go. There goes my guest. At Hollywood HAZRDOUS. Everybody follow him. He's a dope artist. You heard. We about to find out a little more about him right now. He said Hollywood HAZRDOUS. Yep. Let's go. Go live. Like I said, this is the first interview, so bear with me. What's poppin', Brody?
Yo, what's good? What's good? Shit still connecting. Hold on. You can hear me?
Yeah. How come I'm on the top?
Cause that's how it is.
Alright. So this is our first interview, you heard. I have to. And you're now tuning into the Dat Boy Lucky show. Dat Boy Lucky NYC. Introduce yourself, bro.
Yo, I go by the name of HAZRDOUS. I'm 21 years old. You feel me? Artist out here in Brooklyn, New York.
What part of Brooklyn you from?
I'm in Kings Highway right now, but I'm originally from Flatbush, King.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Flatbush, Hatbush. Shout out to all the hats in Flatbush, you heard. Shout out to all my non niggas out there too, you heard. Niggas is making noise. Yo, you a dope artist, man.
Nah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I've been listening to your shit for a long time. We actually have a couple of collabs, right?
Yeah.
We got 10 Toes Down. We have Rondo. We have Antisocial Social Club. All of that is on iTunes. Let's talk about your progression. What was your original artist name? Because like a lot of stuff is posted with another name.
Yeah.
So let's start with your old name. How'd you get that name?
Well, when I first started rapping, I was going under by Outkast, and the only reason why I changed it was because, you see, well, I was born in 2000, so I wasn't really that like a fan of all the original rappers that like were before me. So I didn't really know that. I didn't know that. What's it called? What's his name? Andre 3000. I didn't know he was part of a group called Outkast at the time. So I felt like I didn't want to go under a name that was already like very powerful in the music industry. So I had switched it to OT. And my boy right there, Majesty, he kind of gave me that name because it was short for one take. When we go record music, I'll do it in one take. So he always called me that shit. Then from there, I changed that name as well because it was like I go on SoundCloud, I see a whole bunch of OTs. I'm like, no, I want to be myself, but what can I call myself? And then I would always find myself recording music, and I'll be like, this shit is HAZRDOUS.
Right.
So I was like, you know, I'm about to just run with that, and I just kept it going from there.
That's fire. That's fire. Because when I originally did music with you, you was under Little Hazzy.
Yeah.
You know, I went away for 2 years.
I
came back. My bad.
I changed it to Lil Hazzy because it was the wave at the time. Everybody was going under Lil this, Lil that. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I might change my name to Lil Hazzy. Hopefully I get famous because apparently everybody that's Lil goes up.
That's a fact. Little Pump. What's the other nigga name?
Lil Durk, Lil Uzi.
Lil Yachty. Right. Yeah, but you definitely a problem. I'm a fan of your music, bro. What are some of the projects you got out right now? Because I know you on iTunes, and I also seen a music video which is really fire. So tell me about your projects.
Right now, well, I got enough music to drop like 5 albums, 5 tapes. But right now, all I got out right now is like this little one freestyle to what's the song by? It's by Heady One and Drake. It's a freestyle I dropped, but I also have another track out right now on SoundCloud. But at the moment, I'm trying to save some of that music for the summer because I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of stuff that I want to put out in the summer. So stay tuned to that.
Shout out to YR Flashy. He's tuned in. Armada Gang one way. You know that shit. What about your future projects? What are you working on in your future? Like in the near future? Like I know you got a lot of shit going on because every time I see you on Instagram, you always in a studio. You're always spitting bars. You're always in the loop with different artists. I see you working hard. Like,
I'll be cut off. Say it again.
I said, what does the future hold for you as far as project goes? Like, what projects go? Like, what are you working on? Because every time I see you on Instagram, you're always working. You're either in the studio, shooting a music video, you with different artists, you're always writing.
As far as for my future projects, what I'm planning on doing is music videos, a lot of music videos, a lot of photography, get my page up there with like in terms of content, put a lot of more content out and drop singles after singles after singles so people crave they crave a tape or an album. Just put myself out there a little more. I feel like social media don't really get enough of my face. They get more of my music.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about, now you was on Netflix. A lot of motherfuckers don't know. You was actually on Netflix on a show, a well-renowned show on Netflix. And I believe it was Rhythm and Flow, right? That was the name of the show?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Who's running that show? Like, who were the judges and stuff?
Well, I did the show. When I did the show, I was in the New York edition. So the judges were Cardi B, Jadakiss, and Fat Joe. And it was a good experience for me because at the time I wasn't performing. I was just dropping music relentlessly. So
Right.
it was a very humbling experience, and it taught me a lot about the industry. Like, the industry is not what you think it is behind closed doors, and it's a lot of wolves. It's a lot of wolves and a lot of sheep, but at that time they called me well, because I wasn't performing as much. So when I went up there, that was literally my first performance ever, and I had to perform in front of Cardi, I had to perform in front of Fat Joe and Jada.
Wow.
So that being my first performance, it was shell shocking because I stepped on that stage, Cardi smiled at me, and I just lost it. Like, I couldn't focus, and
that's
so.
funny.
When I went up to perform, I was actually alongside a lot of the people that were on that show, like Once A Carter. I was with Flawless, so it was a lot of well put rappers in that show, and it humbled me because when I went on the show, I was like, yo, I'm the best rapper in here. Like, nobody could fuck with me. I feel like I rap anybody, and then they put us in this in a dining room almost. There was a rapper here, rapper there, rapper here. It was mad rappers in that one room, and they all start freestyling. And I just I was like, I was sitting there like I got some work to do. So as soon as I got put on the stage, it was hectic. I fumbled my line, and Fat Joe, that nigga laughed at me.
Word, he laughed.
Yep.
What made him laugh?
It was just
what you feel made him laugh?
It was just because a lot of the rappers were unprepared. A lot of the rappers that were in New York, it was more like he was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, y'all supposed to be from New York, you know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all gotta come with that energy. A lot of people, including myself, were fumbling lines, getting nervous, getting shell shocked. So when I got up there and it was my turn to go, when I fumbled my line, they allowed me to keep going. But there was other artists up there, they just kicked off the stage immediately. But the crowd was fucking with me. They liked how I came off first because I came off strong. But it was just a simple fact that it was too overwhelming for me at the time. And then when I fumbled my line, the crowd was like, nah, keep going, keep going, keep going. So I just went back in it. And then by the time I was done, Cardi was like, I think you're a dope rapper, but I think you need to work on your stage presence. And I see you in 2 years, and you're going to look back at this and laugh.
That's
and
fine.
Then Fat Joe, that nigga laughed at me. So it was like,
shout out to Fat Joe.
That nigga laughed at me. I didn't even pay attention to what Jada had to say. I didn't pay attention. I was just looking at Fat Joe with the death stare. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come back for you.
So he definitely put the battery in your back. So since then, what have you done to improve that? Like, improve your stage performance? Taking their advice forward. Like, what did you do? Excuse me. What have you done?
Well, the next day after that, I was like, well, further behind. After that happened, when I left the place, the first thing I did was look up and thank God. It was like, 'cause you don't get that opportunity as often. So it was like, I know that he opened that door for me. He gave me my first Like, yo, you want to do this? I'm gonna let you see what it's like first. So it was more so like an open door that I closed, but I know when I open that next door, I'm not closing that shit on my, on myself. I'm gonna break through that fucking door and I'm gonna give my statement. But after that, it was more so like I got back on the computer and I just started writing every day. And then when the moment I could book my next performance, I booked it and I ripped that shit. But I was still nervous. But in that crowd that I was doing, that's my second performance was bigger. So it was more so like I had to rip the stage.
Right.
And I did it alongside my boy Majesty, and it was crazy. It's crazy.
Majesty, right? Yo,
Yeah.
who was first place?
In Rhythm and Flow?
Yeah.
What's it? D Smoke. D Smoke went first place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? You think you better than him?
I don't think I'm better than nobody.
Okay.
I don't aim to be better than the next man. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to keep leveling up and keep going up. Like I don't want to compete with nobody. That's gonna just steer me away from what I gotta do.
That's fire. That's a dope answer. That's a dope fucking answer. Now let's bring it back a little bit. You said Cardi B smiled at you.
Yeah.
But like, what kind of smile was you talking
But yo,
about? Like,
nah, like when I stepped on the stage, it was like she cheesed hella hard, and that kind of like got to me because I wasn't expecting that. It was like, damn, bro, Cardi just smiled at me. So it's like,
yo, Cardi, if you listening, man, follow my son. Hollywood has.
It was crazy though. She was giving off like a very good genuine vibe because like being from New York, like the judges was harsh, but it's like you in New York, so it's more so like fuck it, like that's the type of energy you're gonna get because you won't have friends that's gonna cut your ass relentlessly. So it's like
shout out to everybody watching right now. For those of you who just tuned in, this is HAZRDOUS, an artist from Flatbush, Brooklyn. We just finished talking about how he was on Netflix on a show called Rhythm and Flow, out in New York, judged by Jadakiss, Fat Joe, and Cardi B. He's a real dope artist. I got a pleasure to work with him before. And now let's talk about this new haircut, man. You got the new look. Holy shit. That shit.
I had to.
Different.
I had to. I haven't done this shit in a minute. The last time I actually cut my hair like this, I was a kid.
Now, shout out to Jay Wildin. What he asked, what episode were you in?
Bro, I was like in the beginning, but it was more so like the intro type shit. Like when you watch that show, it's like it's not what you like. It's not how you really see it. Like they really, because being that I was on that show and I knew how the show went piece by piece, they edited the whole fucking show crazy. Like a lot of the people that you seen go first, some niggas was last. Like when One Take Carter went up, I was after him. So whoever went after him, that wasn't the order. Everything was crazy. Like it was so how can I say disorganized when I was there. Very disorganized.
Okay.
It was crazy.
But you are on the trailer, right? On the actual trailer. Yeah. That's you on the trailer. I see. I know I recognized you. I was like, yo, you was wearing the lumberjack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, Jay Wildin, shout out to you. Jay Wildin said he applied for the show. Gary the promoter, shout out to you. Listen, yo,
my boy
Gary,
Jerry, what's good?
Yo, if you want, you heard, we could do your own segment. Just DM me. And this is the Dat Boy Lucky Show. Tune in, share this post, share this with everybody. Make sure everybody tune in. We were Hollywood Has. You heard Hollywood HAZRDOUS. That's my son. That's my boy.
That's a crazy thing too. A lot of people applied for this. A lot of people.
Right.
Like I did, like yo, bro. It was I forgot what her name was, but she was like the casting, like two of the casting directors hit me up. It was like, yo, we got an opportunity. I thought it was bullshit at first. Right. I almost didn't do the show because I thought it was bullshit.
And they contacted you, right? You didn't even contact them. They found you.
Yeah, they hit me up on they hit me up on my SoundCloud, and then one of the casting producers hit me in my DM. But it was more so like, you know how when you get hit up by a certain person, like it's a profile and they don't got no followers, nothing like that. They just doing their own thing. I was like, I don't know if I should do this. I thought it was bullshit at first. So I signed up, and I forgot about it. I said, fuck it. But then I got the email. It was like, yo, we're going to be in New York. We're going to be in the city. Come. And they gave me the address. I ended up meeting up with a lot of, like, it's a lot of dope people. I even met, what's his name? You know, Michael Blackson?
Yeah.
His nephew. I met his nephew. One
Fuck
Take Carter was with that. I was with Cashflow Harlem. It was just a lot of pros, a lot of dope ass rappers that I was with. I got a pleasure of meeting and exchanging social medias and stuff. So soon we're gonna have like a couple collabs and stuff like that. But because to this day I'm still going at it.
All right. Now, did you see the camera go off? Because I had a notification.
No,
my
you
camera.
Gucci. Nah, you Gucci.
All right, all right. Now, yo, you have been networking. You like a babyface killer, man. You're very silent in your moves, but very strong. Cause I recently seen you mind you, I was in prison for 2 years. I was locked up. I was up north. I missed out a lot on your growth. I seen you grow a lot, and I'm very proud of you because your sound is crazy. Like we just dropped the freestyle on Gott Thozz TV, and we also dropped you was at one of J.I. the Prince's release party.
Yeah.
So you looped in, like you in tune. That's fire, because you know he's one of the artists I listen to. When I was locked up, he was one of the artists I was listening to often, and he was also on the show, and that's fire. So I'm glad you looped in with these young niggas, man.
Nah, I mean, if it wasn't for my boy J-Rock, I wouldn't have been able to get there.
Right.
It's like he's like one of those. I've known him since we were kids, so it's like you know how much his music shit means to me. So it's like that's his childhood friend. So he was like, "Yo, bro, you trying to pop out to J.I. shit?" Like he ain't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have to step out his way to hit me up to do that. So it was like, if it wasn't for Jonathan, it was like that would have never happened. And most people, when they get in a situation like that, when they could be around somebody that's like up there, most of the times they'll sit there and they'll just be jealous.
Right.
Because envy and jealousy is like crazy. But when I was there, all I could do was just soak it up. Like, and just sit there, and I'm just like, yo, I want to be here. This is where I want to be. Like, this is my calling. So it's like I was just soaking up all the energy, just looking at the environment around, and just all I could be was grateful.
Yeah, that's real nigga shit. That's real nigga shit right there.
Yeah, bro. And it's like it was more so like it felt like a dream because it's not every day you get to be around an artist that's already in the game type shit like that. So it's like it really fueled me a little more.
Right. And he's a young dude too. So shout out to J.I. the Prince of New York, man. Another young nigga, Hispanic, doing his thing. He's from Brooklyn too, I think, right? Am I lying?
Yeah.
Oh, fire.
Cry.
So Brooklyn definitely in the building. My son Little Haz. Well, no longer Little Haz, it's straight Hazardous. I'm sorry, because that's how I met you.
That's good.
And,
some things change.
Let's talk about this No Guidance music video. That shit
Man.
is fire, bro. I love it. Now, you know, I'm a big critique on visuals just because I've been doing this for a long time. I've directed several music videos, and I've co-directed, and I've worked with Coppermouth Films. I've worked with Rock Boy Films. And I know when a videographer is trying. I know when an artist is trying, and I feel like you put together a really good visual. Like I really liked it. I really enjoyed your song. It's really up to the times. I had a little skit. The shit was funny. You had bitches on there. You had some bitch. You know what I'm saying? I seen some nipple rings through the shirt. That shit was fire. You heard? It was dope. It was dope. You know what I'm saying? That the Treaches was out. No disrespect. I was really dope. Now, what made you do that song? What made you do that instrumental? Like, what was the creative process behind that? And what made you choose to shoot that video out of all videos?
That's a good question. Well, for starters, I was this is when I was living back my brand. I was in my room and I was listening to the No Guidance by Chris Brown and Drake.
Right.
And I told myself, it was just out of nowhere. It was just like I told myself, I was like, yo, I feel like I could body this. Knowing that it's Drake and Chris Brown though, it's a lot of pressure because like, yo, these dudes are crazy nice. And it's like whatever they put their pen on, it's going to be nice regardless. So it's like I don't know how I'm going to top this. So I was sitting in my bed and I'm like, yo, how can I make a version to this song that when people hear it, they know it's my version and it doesn't correlate with theirs.
Right.
So I just sat in my room and I just started coming up with different flows, coming up with different patterns with the rhymes and stuff. And it's like my one of my mentors, he goes by King Dubai. He was like, if you want to find a different melody, just hum it, hum to the beat. So I was humming to the beat, and then I ended up finding the tell me that you heard you, but you lied to me. So I was like, when I found that first line, it was easy. It came easy, it just came naturally. So when I did the video, when I wanted to shoot the video, I felt like it was easy. Just for the simple fact that when I went online and I found out other people were dropping videos to it, I was like, I got to make sure that my video is better than everybody else's. And if you go look up any No Guidance freestyle, it's me and another artist that have the hottest. There's just two of us that have the hottest videos. And when you search my shit up, it's under Drake's and Chris Brown shit. And the audio just hit like 20K on YouTube. The visuals are at 5 point something K. They're doing really good numbers. But I feel like I could do better.
Okay.
I feel like I could do way better.
All right. Well, you learning the game. You know, what I tell all the artists, and, you know, I constantly remind myself, there's no rule book on how to make it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a bunch of information out there, you know, when it comes down to creating the music, the legal side of the music, how to put out the music. And there's no one way to do things. And, you know, as artists come out and as times, you know, the times change, you see different things working for different artists. Like you see, you know, before the snitching, 6ix9ine, like before the snitching, yeah, clown, bozo, kill yourself, 6ix9ine. But before the snitching, he had a crazy wave. Like he figured out how to draw attention to himself. Another weirdo nigga, Lil Nas X, he figured out a way to draw attention to himself. And you know, even though those particular niggas was weird, they, as far as business goes in the music, they figured out a way to generate traffic to their music and shit like that. Now they also compromised themselves a lot. You know, I feel like they sold their soul, both of them, in different ways. But then you look at artists like Jay Ada Prince. You see artists like what's my son name? Little TJ. You know, all these young artists, and it's fire, even down to Pop Smoke and how you know how they chose to come up. And it's really dope. This is like one of the first interviews. Well, this is the first interview that I'm doing, period, on the Dat Boy Lucky show on Instagram. And I'm very excited that I got to interview you because I see you blowing up. Like I see you in that category. Like if this was school and artists would, you know, different artists were at different lunch tables, I see you in that lunch table. You know what I'm saying? I see you sitting. I see you amongst those niggas, those young niggas that's doing it, because your flow is crazy. And for everybody tuned in, you make sure you look up HAZRDOUS on YouTube. Make sure you look up HAZRDOUS on iTunes, because my son is on iTunes. And for his older music, you can look up Little Hazzy. And you can also look up Dat Boy Lucky. We have a few features. Fire. And we talk about that day, man, when we recorded, bro. We did that shit on the spot. I was on my way to prison. You heard, we was in a crib, and you did that shit off the top. You literally are a one-take motherfucker. Like, you literally, like, nah, I seen it. I swear to God, I seen it.
Nah, yo, because it was more so like, yo, you don't, like, there don't be a lot of times where at the time, before I worked with you, I didn't really work with anybody besides Majesty. So it was
Okay.
like